Today we'll study about the most dominant and most beautiful types of plants on the earth, which are known by their lush green leaves, beautiful flowers and fruits. Yes, have you guessed it? We will be studying about angiosperms, which are known as flowering plants with fruits. And flower is a reproductive organ of angiosperms, which have got ovules which will develop into seeds, and these seeds are present inside the fruit. And these seeds may be of two types, monocot or dicot. So a flower is a reproductive organ of the angiosperms, which has got stamen and pistil, male reproductive part and female reproductive part. Stamen can be divided into anther and filament. Inside the anther, there are microsporangia. Each microsporangium has got microspore mother cells which undergo meiosis to produce 4 microspores, and all these 4 microspores develop into pollen grain, which is male gametophyte. Whereas the female part, that is pistil, also has 3 parts: stigma, style and ovary. And inside this ovary there are ovules. These ovules have got megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis to produce embryo sac, which is a female gametophyte. This embryo sac has got a typical structure. There is an egg cell which is surrounded by 2 synergid cells, and on the opposite side there are 3 antipodal cells, and in the center there is polar nuclei, 2 polar nuclei. So egg cell along with synergid cells is called egg apparatus, and there is diploid secondary nucleus. When the flower is mature, the pollen grains are liberated, and these pollen grains are taken either by insect or wind or other pollinating agencies, and this process is called pollination, where there is the transfer of the pollen grains from the anther to the stigma, and after that the pollen tube develops, and the male gametes, 2 male gametes, they travel through the pollen tube and reach the embryo sac. So out of these 2, 1 male gamete fertilizes with egg forming zygote, and the other one fertilizes with the polar nuclei forming primary endosperm nucleus, PEN. This process is called as double fertilization. Double fertilization is present only in angiosperms. As a result of double fertilization, there is the formation of 1, that is zygote develops into embryo, whereas the primary endosperm nucleus develops into a nourishing tissue called as endosperm. So after it is complete, then the ovule develops into seed, and this seed germinates to produce a new plant. So this is the life cycle of a typical angiosperm. Now these angiosperms, as you know, they are so commercially useful because they provide us food, fuel, fodder and so many medicines. So we have completed all the groups of the plant kingdom. Now we will study about the different types of life cycles in different types of plants, and these life cycles include sporophytic and gametophytic generation, and these generations alternate. That's why the life cycle is also called as alternation of generations. So let us understand with the help of a fern. We have already studied the life cycle of fern. You know that the main plant body of fern is a sporophyte, which produces the gametophyte, that is prothallus. The prothallus has got male and female reproductive part, that is anthrozoid and archegonia, and after the fertilization the zygote is produced when the anthrozoids fertilize the egg, and this zygote which is produced after fertilization results in the formation of the sporophytic phase. So there is an alternation of a sporophytic phase and gametophytic phase. So this is the alternation of generation. So there are different variations in the sporophytic and gametophytic dominance. So based on the dominance, there may be the haploid or gametophyte may be dominant or sporophyte may be dominant. So on the basis of the dominance of gametophyte or sporophyte, the patterns of life cycle in plants may be haplontic, diplontic or haplodiplontic. As the name suggests, the haplontic life cycle have got haploid or the gametophytic phase which is dominant, as in case of algae like Chlamydomonas or Spirogera, Volvox. Here you can see the sporophytic phase is only represented by a zygote. All other phases, this zygote undergoes meiosis, produces haploid spores, and these haploid spores develop into haplonts. The gametophytic part is also known as haplont. That's why this life cycle is called as haplontic life cycle. Whereas in case of angiosperm and the gymnosperms, the life cycle is diplontic because the main plant body is sporophytic, whereas the gametophytic part is only represented by small gametes. Therefore, the dominance is of the diploid part, that is sporophytic. That's why this life cycle is called as diplontic life cycle. The third type of life cycle is shown by bryophytes and pteridophytes. It is called as haplodiplontic life cycle. In both these plant groups, they have well developed gametophytic as well as sporophytic phases. These phases are not just restricted to few cells, but there is a difference between these two life cycles. In case of bryophytes, the main plant body is gametophytic, which is photosynthetic and dominant, whereas the sporophyte is dependent on gametophyte for its food. So we can say it is haplodiplontic life cycle with gametophytic dominance. Whereas in case of the pteridophytes, the main plant body is sporophyte, which is dominant, whereas the gametophyte, though it can perform photosynthesis, but it is comparatively limited. So we will say it is also a haplodiplontic life cycle with sporophytic dominance. These two are algae, Ectocarpus and Polysiphonia. Normally, algae have haplontic life cycle, but they are exception because they show haplodiplontic type of life cycle. So we can see that these plant groups are different on the basis of their life cycle. With these, we have completed the kingdom Plantae, chapter